So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. We're doing it on July the 5th, 2024. If you're joining us for the first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? Every Wednesday and Friday dropped on Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/robsadri. If you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you, the syndicate. If you're just joining us today, welcome to the Familia. Wherever you're tuning in from, Canada, United States, further down south, Mexico, South America, Asia, Europe, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, all over the place. Globally speaking, Senegal, Portugal, Spain, France, Bolivia, doing it. Hello everybody, it's Friday. Feeling all over the place, not gonna lie to you guys. It's feeling all over the place, but feeling good. Because we're in it. We're doing it together. So thank you for joining me once again. Let's shoot the shit. Let's have some fun. Let us have some fun with it. Let's just get right into it if we can, if we may. Epitome of manliness. Let's get right into it. Let's not skirt around. Let's just get right into it. And that's what it is, baby. Epitome of manliness. I've thought about this. What does it mean to, what is the manliest of manly tasks out there? And I thought about it, and I thought about it for a little while, and I thought about it some more. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe I think we can all agree. Construction happens to probably be the manliest of tasks out there, the manliest profession out there. But then I thought to myself, if construction is the manliest of tasks, of lines of work, of occupation, is there anything that's manlier than construction? Because if somebody is able to, if somebody's able to use their hands, figure out where there is a straight line, figure out where there's a 90-degree angle, figure out where there's a circle, where there's a angle, or whatever, and then they construct using their hands, using their eyes, their minds, their bodies, blocks here, blocks there, next, drywall here, cement there, piping here, piping there, electrical engineering there. It's all of it. It's very fascinating. It's interesting. I love construction, and it's probably one of the, there's beautiful men's and women's out there, but mostly men's, let's not kid ourselves, in construction. It's one of those manlier tasks out there. But I thought to myself, is there anything that's manlier than construction? Because construction is probably like top 5, top 10, like manliest things you can, it's physically, it's laborious, as they say, which means you give birth during it, which means there's a lot of construction babies. But I'll say this, I thought about it, and probably one of the manliest things that out-manlies the construction is probably the opposite of construction, deconstruction, or demolition, or when people take things apart. Demolition is probably, it still falls in the category of construction, but if there was a subcategory, if there was like a niche little, if there was a subculture of like manliness within the manly umbrella that is construction, I would say demolition is probably a little bit more hardcore. If you are sitting in a crane operating a giant ball on a chain, if you are a man with a giant ball, and if you are wrecking things using a wrecking ball, that is probably the manliest thing out there. I would say if you are working 3 to 4 hours in a crane, smashing there's nothing manlier, because you could be just sitting there in a wife beater and just, jorts and, safety boots and a helmet and just chain smoking the fuck out of that cigarette and just being extremely manly. That's probably one of the manliest tasks out there. If I had access to a bulldozer or a wrecking ball, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I'd probably be I'd be so emotional. And if you needed somebody to come in there, because if you had a building that you needed to be wrecked and knocked down, and you're like, I wish I had my own wrecking ball. Well, you don't, but I do. I'd roll in there after a quick call from you, and I'd get in there and I'd just sit there and chain smoke and just fucking like wreck the entire building so you can rebuild once again, or whatever, take down whatever so invigorating. I would love to be able to operate a wrecking ball, just slam it into something. Just it is nice. Construction, hells yeah. Manly tasks, it is up there. But again, deconstruction is probably, I can't think of anything manlier than that. I can't. If you can, leave a comment. I dare you, leave a comment of what you think is the manliest task out there. And maybe one day we will tackle the most feminine of tasks. Maybe we'll just settle it right here. Perhaps it's not work, but it's not work. Giving birth is probably you're not getting, it's not work. It is a bodily task. Like, it's not a task. It's not assigned to. It is assigned to you because, like, physiology. We're not here to get into that. We talk about work, not talking about some human bodily function. And again, giving birth is, I myself I've experienced a couple of cramps here and there. I tell you, I've had some extreme meals. Every now and again, you get a bad cramp, and it's, more or less, I'll say that. So, but yes, the manliest, most difficult of tasks out there is probably construction. But above that, demolition probably is just like, number one, if not number two. If not number two, if not number two, number three, then top five for sure. Let's settle on that. Let's settle on that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a sip of this bad boy. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, good God. All-you-can-eat restaurants, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard too many times that people are attending all-you-can-eat restaurants. All-you-can-eat restaurants, that's what they say. Come on in, it's an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Get all the meals and all the deals. But is it really all-you-can-eat? Is it really all-you-can-eat, ladies and gentlemen? If you are sitting at a table and you are not emptying your bowels, if you are not taking a shit and emptying and providing more room to be filled with food, if you are not emptying yourself of the food, you just down like a little hungry bear. But if you're not shitting it out on the other side, are you really eating all you can eat? Are you really eating all you can eat? That's what I'm proposing today. That's what I'm putting forth today. That's what I'm bringing to the table today. So this is the challenge that I have for all you can eat restaurant. If you really claim to be all you can eat, replace all your sitting arrangements. Instead of seats, had toilet bowls installed so people can sit on toilets, and that way they could continuously eat and eat and eat and eat for hours on end. 1 plate, 2 plates, 3 plates, 4, 5 plates, not a problem. Just laxative in between, diarrhea, pass it out, flushes on the house, of course, and then just shovel it in your mouth. Get a funnel. Just the chefs don't even cook. Just stand there with just a giant shovel of raw meat and potatoes and starchy, sweet, sour, everything. Just a little bit of salt and pepper, and then just wash it down with a gallon of Coke. But then again, work the laxatives in between, sitting on a toilet, pass it through, stay in there for like 2-3 days, maybe up to a week. Eat your entire caloric intake for the month in one sitting, instead of having to always be like, oh, today's another day. I wonder what I'm gonna have today. I wonder where we're gonna go for lunch today. I wonder what we're gonna have for dinner today. And then you're like, oh, we'll go to an all-you-can-eat restaurant. A few hours goes by. What am I gonna get to eat? I'm a little bit hungry. You'll say that to yourself. So these are the little things that makes the world go round and makes our lives a little bit, everybody, that way you pay more. I say you pay more. You can't be paying $20 for an all-you-can-eat. That the ones that we got right now, yes, that's how much you should pay, whatever, give or take. I don't know. Of course, I want people making more money. I want everybody to make more money. Everybody should pay more and everybody should spend more. I don't know. I want everybody to be balling. I'm sorry, I want everybody to be balling. So you go to an all-you-can-eat restaurant and you spend like $1,000, but you really get an all-you-can-eat restaurant. You just sit there for 2-3 days, $500 for 3 days of straight eating. That's something we can all agree is sensible. Right down the center of things. $500, 3 days, flushing in and just shoving it in your, just have chefs come and do shifts and rotate. New chef comes in, back up, cramming food in your throat. But that's all you can eat. These other ones are just, they're playing grab ass with that title, man. It is not all you can eat. It's some you can eat. It's not all you can eat. Some you can eat. You can probably eat later. I've never seen anybody go to an all-you-can-eat restaurant and never eat again for an extended period of time, that is. I'm not expecting eternity or until somebody's until somebody's expiry date. I'm just saying all you can eat should be like, okay, I'm full for a week. I'm full for 2 weeks, for a month. That's all you can eat. For just, having one meal and then less than 6 hours later we're hungry, then clearly you did not have all you can eat. I'm just pointing it out there, letting you all leave a comment. Leave a comment if you feel like you really should. That's, if you are on board, then let's get this movement going. Let's make it happen together. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. I am sick and tired of doorways. It's 2024. This is not 1999. All right, this is 2024, ladies and gentlemen, and it's high time that we get around and get rid of doors. What do we do? What are we living in the medieval times? Sliding door? What is this? A revolving door? A door with doorknobs? A regular rectangular shaped door? I say get rid of it all. People should be making way cooler entrances, dropping in via rope. That's it. No more walking in and out of doors. If you want to get in a building, if you want to get into any room, office building, household room, I don't care, living room, bedroom, the kitchen, the walk-in closet that's enormous, that's got shoes upon shoes upon shoes, and whatever, your garage, wherever you want to get into, via rope. And that way you are literally killing multiple birds with a couple of stones here and there, because people are always like, oh, I'm on the grind, I'm on the this, I'm on the that, I might not have enough time to exercise. Guess what? Using your upper body strength and your upper body strength only, drop into any room using a rope and look 10x way better than just going through a regular front door. How lame is that? Again, 2024. I think things are changing. I feel it in my core. There's a vibration going on globally. People are tuning in and people are synchronizing. Things are moving along. It's getting nice. But let's get this thing going on. Drop a rope. Build that upper body strength. If you solely expect you will probably end up with a huge upper body because you'll be using a lot of that arm and upper body to pull yourself up and lower yourself, which will leave you with the tiniest of limbs down. You'll have extremely tiny legs. This could become a epidemic of extremely tiny legs. To conquer that challenge, we will also get people to switch it up every once in a while, climb up and down using nothing but your legs. Your beautiful legs will be tightened, toned. It'll work everything. It'll work from your toes to your cleavage, lady. That's how far it'll work. You'll be able to grip that cock with that puss like you've never gripped it before. They're gonna need the jaws of life to get that man out of you. But the point of this is that let's make entrances, let's revive it again. Let's make them cool again. Doors I'm over it. I don't need a door anymore. Rope, some sort of entryway from above. I'm in. I want to leave, turn upside down, climb my way out, make huge leg muscles, just like double, triple sized my legs just by using the rope. And no lube. Lube's for pussies. Rope entrances, 2024, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get a sip of this bad boy right here. Yeah. Drop her rope, baby. That's the way we should be doing it. Ever eat a meal and then have to wait to digest it and then shit it out in form of a regular shit that you've been accustomed to for all your entire life? Tired of regular shits is what I'm trying to get to. Introducing an all new and inclusive, extremely rejuvenating, invigorating shit pill. You take these shit pills and you are now capable of eating whatever food item you wanted to eat, but also dispose of it in the same shape that you consumed it. And how great is that? No more shitting, whatever, no more shitting chocolate bars. Let's just, or Hershey's Kisses or whatever, or diarrhea. No more of that. Consume whatever you want to consume and shit it out in its original form. Take a soft drink from your favorite fast food restaurant. Consume it whole, not just the beverage inside, but the container that's withholding the beverage as well. I'm talking plastic, I'm talking paper, I'm talking straw. I don't care what the straw is made of. It could be your own personal metal straw. Recycle if you like. Shove it in your face, let it sit there, shit it out, and because of this pill, you'll be able to shit out the entirety of the container and just, extract the good, let the enzymes do their thing, but also get rid of it in the way that you consumed it. That way nobody's grossed out. That way you don't even need bathrooms. That way you could just eat a whole hamburger, don't chew it, swallow whole. Just eat a Big Mac, one whole Big Mac. 3 hours gone, shit it out in its entirety. Took the benefits, the nutrients, dispose of the that's all we don't need the shape. The shape is the essentially, that's what's wrong with food. The shape of it is what's wrong with food. So instead of having to shit it out normally, I say dispose of the hamburger in the shape that you consumed it in. That way, again, you could just we'd solve with this, man. We'd solve so many things with this. A lot of times it's because it's it's difficult fighting maybe homelessness, but I'll say if people are shitting regular shaped foods, it's not gross anymore. If people are not shitting on the streets like they traditionally do, where you walk by and you're like, oh, that's a human feces if I've seen one. You'll just see, oh, is that a hamburger? Don't touch it, it's on the ground. Probably not, it's someone's shit, but still way better to look at. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're doing it. It's Friday. I'll say this. Taser tag. Take your loved ones to taser tag. I'm talking about taser guns at a facility where you can play taser tag with your loved ones. Friends, acquaintances, family members, relatives, distant cousins, co-workers, whoever you bond with, whoever you spend your time with. Because people love two things and two things only in this world, and that is tasers and playing tag. So play taser tag at a taser tag facility. Get electrocuted. Send a shocking voltage. I don't know what the lethal limit is, but let's get really close to it, and let's not go over it. Well, wherever over it is, let's stay really close to it, and then make people play laser tag. And that way you can go to, that's a great afternoon that you can just because people are looking to, revive the economy, bring back new businesses. The AI and the robots are getting there to create more jobs. And it's one of those things where you want to spend a little bit of time exercising, building team morale. You get in there, again, family, friends, anybody, really doesn't matter, especially with the elderly. Do it with somebody that has a heart condition. It's exhilarating. I should say this, if anybody should have some sort of, if anybody does, just if somebody happens to drop dead, we're not taking responsibility for any sort of damages, bodily harm. That your choice. You get in there and play laser tag with your children, with your co-workers, whoever you want to. And that's the thing, you need a little bit of that just excitement, a little bit of that adrenaline in your life, a little bit of that. Yes, I feel like this could be the new bar game. There's a little corner where it's not fully like a taser tag facility, but it's a couple of taser guns. At least you can just, instead of, you could still play darts, you could still play pool, but in a corner you can just take a shot of this whiskey and just get tasered and just, feel alive. Yes. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, we're doing it, and it's Friday. I will say this, if you have always had the dream of, excuse me for a second, let's clear that throat for a second. Excuse me. If you always dreamed of riding a horse, but also being able to fly simultaneously, and maybe your love of riding horses happens to coincide with maybe taking airplanes and helicopters and maybe even drones, and maybe you said to yourself, man, I wish in my reality I had horses that were drones. Introducing drones, horse drones. That's right. Get a chance to experience what it's like to ride a horse but also fly in the sky simultaneously. Instead of having to wait and go to the park and have an afternoon spent with your loved one, your lover, trying to fly a little drone and maybe drop a little champagne from above on yourselves, instead of having to go to the local horse storage facility to see a horse, instead of having to go to a horse manufacturing company, instead of having to go to wherever they keep horses, instead of going to like a horse store, instead of going to the horse department, instead of going to the horse recreation center, instead of I don't know where they keep horses, instead of going to the horse dealer, instead of making that random phone call in the middle of the night to your horse dealer, right? Instead, get the experience of riding a horse but also flying a drone by getting horse drones. That's right. Fly in the sky with a giant beautiful horse that's got the abilities of a drone. We just need to install propellers on these bad boys, and next thing you know, we have flying horse drones. How fucking sick is that? You're welcome, everybody. We did it together. Instead of flying regularly, let's skirt right ahead with this one. Instead of flying regularly, now you could be experiencing a whole unique experience when you fly with Delta. Delta Airlines, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are now offering extremely unique experiences when it comes to flying at Delta. Let me ask you this, tired of just getting in a regular cylindrical tin can and just flying from point A to point B and having a regular experience? Well, that was yesterday, today's today. A recent flight heading from Detroit to Amsterdam had to make a little make a little pit stop in New York because they gave their clients the coolest, the funnest, most exhilarating experience of their lives. That's right, they spoiled their flyers is what they did. They spoiled they took care of their clients, their customers, their guests. How? By spoiling them, by giving them spoiled food and letting them have the very unique once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to fly in a tin can while getting food poisoning and just projectile vomiting all over the place. Women, men, children, the elderly, the handicapped, the physical kind and the mental kind. Maybe even both, maybe a pinch of both, and it doesn't matter. Whoever was on that flight got to experience a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, just throwing up everywhere. I'm talking about, this is like, if you were looking for a unique experience, if you were looking for something that's a little bit, oh, this one, I'm gonna remember this one, then fly with Delta. If you are lucky and you get to projectile vomit all over the place and have it come, so you are now throwing up midair, 20,000 feet in the sky. You're throwing up a little carrot chunk. You're maybe single, sitting in the plane, just throwing up carrot chunks. And maybe there's a beautiful woman, a couple of seats back, happens to be throwing herself, she's throwing up herself, she's throwing up little peas. You catch her peas, she catches your carrot. Next thing you know, you are midair upside. And if the pilot is nice enough, he will flip the airplane upside down so that all the vomit will get in everybody's face and just drip down, and then flip the plane back to its normal, regular flying position and have the vomit now just drip from the ceiling to the floor and just get on everybody's shoes. You could just be building, this is, man, talk about a lifetime experience that will never be replicated again. A beautiful group got so lucky. I don't know if because this is the sort of thing that this is something you're gonna have to you can't get this anywhere else. This is not sold. This is like a secret menu thing. This is like, you don't have that option. It's just regular flights. Believe me, I've been out there looking for flights that I could vomit on, and people vomit on me. It is extremely hard to come by. At least not, maybe it's a price bracket that I'm not even aware of. Maybe it's like one of those, I'm working my way up to it slowly but surely, but you can't find this anywhere. So, free of charge, of course, and you get to, again, get something that nobody has experienced. This is amazing. Delta is killing it right now. Delta and Boeing are just killing it right now, and they've now set a new bar. The bar is way up high. So that is something to think about. If you've been one of the lucky ones, again, that's that black market shit. You can't find. Do you know how hard it is to coordinate a flight where everybody gets spoiled and everybody has just diarrhea and vomit all over the place? You know how much prep goes into that? You know how much money you gotta spend and get something like that, but for free? Man, some people just have all the luck, but I'm not, I'm happy for you. Of course, I'm happy for everybody. And I'll say this. I only, you can't plan for these things. That's just one of those, try to replicate it again. It's, unless it becomes because it's one of those things, again, you're gonna have to go off the beaten path to be able to find this. It's not on the menu. It is not on the menu. Flight full of digestive issues, not on the menu. Look for it. It's not out there. It's I'll find it on search and you won't. So again, shout out to the lucky ones out there getting a full-blown experience. The rest of us can only, cross our fingers and hope to get lucky. Boys and girls, ladies and gents. Man, imagine, that is a hell of an experience. That sort of thing does not happen every day. Some people get lucky again. It's one of those things. It's Friday. Let's keep it loose. Let us have some fun with it. I believe if you are working in the nighttime, you should be working in the nude. I honestly don't understand why people at nighttime, night shift workers are, emergency services, emergency plumbing services, emergency, grandfather, clock fixer, who works in the AM, in the wee hours of the night, 3:21 maybe, I don't know. You're a beautiful woman fixing grandfather clocks, and it's one of those, why should you have to wear clothing at night? First of all, it's dark, no one can see. Second of all, you're working by yourself. It's summertime, you know what I mean? You should be able to take off a top, take off a bottom. You should be able to work in the nude. I'm advocating for this. If we can get this going, if you're a man, let's say you're a man, regular man, who happens to be fixing elevators, for example. You are working at 2:30 in the morning. You're on top of an elevator. Why should you have to wear clothes? It should be, if it's work at nighttime, clothing should be optional. All I'm saying is that if you are, let's say, delivering a package at nighttime, you should be able to deliver the package in the nude. If you're fighting fire, if you're a bunch of hot firefighters, men's and women's, I say if it's an after midnight fire, everybody should be in the nude. If you are working at the law firm, and you've ordered takeout, this case needs to be cracked, the jury needs to be pulled in, the case needs to be withheld, the prosecutors need to speak with the local judge, the judge needs to shake a hand, the hand needs to scratch it, whatever needs to get done. But if we are staying after midnight, clothing optional, once again, lack of lighting, no one can even see anything. Second of all, you're working at nighttime, most people are asleep. Most people in the evening, when it's dark, after midnight, are asleep. So if you are out there, let's say you're, any job, really, any job. You could be a night gardener. Maybe you're like, I don't like the daylight. I like to garden in the moonlight. You should be able to get on fours and just get naked and get to planting, plucking, trimming. Do it all. Vegetative, just in the nude. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get that going. Let's make a few little tweaks here and there together, whatever you like, of course. If you think that this should be something that's worth implementing together, I believe we can work it out. There's something in there. Because it doesn't make sense. Clothing only makes sense in the daytime. It only makes sense during daytime. I don't need to see you naked in the daytime. But if it's nighttime, let's look at animals. Daytime, fully clothed. Nighttime, nude. And that's nature. And that's just nature. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing it once again, and it's Friday. I hope you are doing well wherever you are. I hope you are twisting your nips, and I hope you are shaving and grooming and getting ready for the summer funs and the festivals and the festivities and the hot summer, the heat of the summer, the many romances that might come about from summertime, the many adventures that might be had in summertime. Or maybe you've got a current romance that you're already knee deep in that romance Maybe you keep that going for this hot summer, and also summer's to come, but all I'm saying is it's summer and it's exciting. So whatever you're doing out there, be ready. Always stay, always protect yourself. Always carry loose condoms. Always wear, always have a bottle of water around, because you're going to be because it's going to be a sloppy summer is what I've heard. It's going to be a wet, sloppy summer is what so stay hydrated. I don't want anybody out there to get dehydrated from, eating puss and sucking cock, and the next thing oh, there's been an emergency. We're going to need to take, we're going to need to take whoever in. They're dehydrated. What happened to them? They didn't drink enough water while they were just sucking on vag juice and just, gargling cum. Because that's a lot of people, I've seen it happen. Summertime, Slurpees come around. It's that summertime, just you're hitting it. The next thing it's been, stay hydrated. I don't want people to pass out. I don't want people to be like, it's that and shark attacks. I don't want to see any of it anymore. We know too much. We know too much about the shark. I just heard one shark in one day, same shark, happened to attack a bunch of different people. You attack one person, that's one thing, but attack different, same shark on one day. So that's the thing. I don't want to see that. And I also don't want to see people getting dehydrated from not drinking enough water out there. If you are, again, cum swapping right there, if you are scissoring hard, you're losing all that vaginal juice, you're squirting it out there, not taking in water. Get something, get like an IV drip. Get like an IV drip. Make sure you're staying hydrated. I don't want to see anybody going to the emergency room and they're like, what's this? Oh, another case of extreme scissoring, no water intake. Too many times. Too many times, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the UFC, by the way. Hell of a, oh man, I forgot to talk about this. 303 was, I just want to say this. I'm surprised that nobody, at least not that I'm aware of, I don't know if this is the knockouts are insane. People get like that is an insane thing, and I'm surprised nobody has shat themselves upon getting knocked out. That isn't, because that's, oh man, the more I think about it, the more, and I'm very appreciative of the people who do it professionally, and that's their thing, and that's, but it, like, I watched all the fights, and I'm just thinking to myself, from just being composed enough not to shit yourself if you get knocked out or choked out. If somebody, like, I don't know, if you get slept and not, like, you should totally be able to do that. And like, if that happens, I don't know what that should be. You should probably, like, I'm surprised it hasn't happened is all I'm trying to say. But you should have some sort of I would make that part of the game plan. If I ever got, like, if I were to get choked out or like knocked out and I shit myself, I would get back up after I wobble and like get up. I would get up and sit. That was part of the game plan. We'd work that out into it. That was, I trained. Of course, we go in there to, come out with a W, but this time it didn't go our way. And I said to myself, if it doesn't go our way, you're gonna shit yourself. And I follow through. And that's that if it happens, I'm surprised it hasn't happened. So many regular people shit themselves on a regular basis, but the fact that you get knocked out or just choked out or put to sleep and not just empty the tank, I'm surprised. I'm not even sure, maybe, but again, shout out to the fighters, shout out to the UFC, hella entertaining. And yeah, Alex Pereira is something I don't know what's going to happen in terms of like so many, John Jones maybe next. Yeah. And all the other fighters too. So many great fights, very exciting. But I just remember that thing, just seeing knockouts for the past few, I've thought about that. I'm like, why don't more people shit themselves? Because I would think if I got, again, a kick to the head, punch to the guts, there's a good chance I might shit myself. But then again, I'm not used to it. Maybe in the early days, you'd probably shit. Is that a thing that happens in the early days? Does anybody get choked out or put to sleep, or questions out there for the internet? But nonetheless, loving the sport, loving the, the dedication and the athleticism, and also not shitting yourselves. Hella incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Friday. It's July the 5th. Wherever you're tuning in from, and again, this is a teeny tiny little production that keeps on going along. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the love right to you. If you're just joining us today, sometimes every once in a while we got to do a little roundabout, come back about it, touch base. Because again, if it's your first time, you're buckling in, you're buckling down, you're like, what is this? It's us having a good time. It's just a little teeny tiny little podcast that comes and tries to tickle you from afar, but hopefully gets to see some of you in person some days, one day. But that's the whole thing. It's just what it is. Just having a good time with y'all and living life. Whatever you're doing out there, I hope you're living life. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. But don't enjoy yourself too much out there. Go. I want you to this summer get just get a new pet. Get a new pet, get a new tattoo. Get a new tattoo, get a new pet, pierce it. Just pierce it. This summer is the summer to pierce it. I'm talking about your nuts, of course. Pierce your nuts. Find somebody who's also got pierced genitals and link up. Do this summer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. And I want to talk to you about a dating show. I know a lot of dating shows are out there, and it's, you see people going out there and they either talk or see each other, and you see people choosing their partners, and that's fine, and I'm a fan, and that's fine. Everybody can do that, but I'm saying let's have a dating game where you get to choose your partner solely based on the view of their genitals and their genitals only. You don't get to see the person, you don't get to hear them, you get to you're given maybe 5 options. You're given 5 options, 5 genitals, 5 cocks, 5 vaginas, whatever you like, and you get to only see the cocks and the vaginas, and you are to pick and the rest of their body is hidden behind a panel, a magic panel made of whatever it is. Doesn't matter. It could just be it could be wood. It could be I don't care. It could be it could be just like a curtain. We could just hide them behind a curtain and have their vaginas or cocks showing, and you get to between 5 different ones, and then figure out if that's the lover of your life for the rest of your years to come. How exciting is that? Because that's like up in the ante, because it's easy to go on a dating show. And again, I'm a fan. I'm not saying I'm not a fan of the other ones, whatever's out there, but I'm just saying it's like you get to see, hear, and but just solely based on genitals. If you were to eliminate people, you should have pick your top, let's start maybe with 7 or 10, pick them, go out with them, and then you still don't get to see the other contestants, come back, pick them again. I don't know, just pick one. Maybe pick one. And to up the ante, so to make it a little bit, just to up the stakes a little bit, because a lot of times dating shows will have people and they'll go on there and they'll date for a little while, maybe they'll get married. Some of them are like that. But then you'll hear they might get divorced. Make sure that they can't get divorced. If you get on a dating show and are presented with one, a genital to pick from amongst maybe 7 or 10 genitals, pick one, and the stipulation is you're not allowed to get divorced for at least 10, 15 years. Let's make it exciting, because it's easy to go on, let's make it, obliged to stay with that puss or that cock for the rest of your life. Having not seen or heard them talk, not know anything about them for that matter. Just pure. Now that's an exciting show. Now that is an exciting, because it's easy to you still obviously it takes time to get to know a person, but if you were to just go by oh, I like that bush, or I like how clean that is. I like I like the fact that there's no hair on this one. I like the fact that it's hung. I like the fact that it's not so hung. I like the fact that it's got large labias. I got the fact that it's got tucked in labias. I like the fact that it's got a mole. Maybe you see a mole and you're like, that mole is right there. That's perfect. And it's called Piece by Piece Dating, the ultimate dating show, piece by piece. Never been done before, never seen before, never been done before. Patented right here, piece by piece, the art of genital dating. Imagine that's the way we find out. That's how you find your perfect mate. Imagine that's the way we find out. It's maybe everything else is an illusion. Maybe everything else is like a distraction. Maybe if you're to like see the perfect genitals, maybe like, oh, that's perfect for me. And everything else is just like, and that's the way they tested it, to see if it's true love. Piece by piece, contestants got on a show, and piece by piece they figured out if they were finding their true love, their one and only ultimate love, piece by piece. Piece by piece, yes. Piece by piece. I like the sound of that. If you'd like to see this show, if you'd like to participate in this show, leave a comment. If you think that's the, if you somehow only got a glimpse of your current lover's cock or vag and fell in love and are a living testimony, you could leave a comment. If you were, maybe you were just, I don't know how you'd come across that particular scenario where you'd only see your lover's genitals first. But if that's all you saw and you're like, oh, it's glowing and it's got like a golden ray to it, and then you're like, oh, that's the one for me, and then you fell in love afterwards. That's the show we're making together. If you like, that is. If you don't, we could totally scrap it, but I think it'll just innovate the dating game. I think that's what the dating shows. That's what the dating game shows are missing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yes, finding a partner, finding your lover, your beautiful spouse, or your girlfriend or boyfriend this is a new way to add new spins to it. A new way of looking at things, piece by piece. Sweeping across the nation, piece by piece. Getting into the hearts of North Americans, piece by piece, and all around the world too, eventually in new markets. Maybe start in just North America, working its way into the hearts of North Americans, piece by piece, the ultimate dating show experience. Oh man, first in North America, the next thing you know, we're penetrating Europe. Next thing you know, we're penetrating Asia. Next thing you know, this thing's penetrating all across the globe, piece by piece, penetrating the dating game, the dating show, the dating game show, piece by piece. I'll say this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you are wondering how much you could slurp, how much you could a lot of people, how much you could take, how much you could give, how much you could, because some people will say, they'll say something along the lines of, I don't give a shit. They will say, I don't give a shit. Do these people, are they the types that'll like take a shit though? Like, could you give a shit without taking a shit? That's, I don't give a shit, you'll hear that. But do you take a shit though? Is it mutually exclusive? If you are taking, could you give I'm just wondering out there. Because if you say I don't give a shit, does that mean you never does that mean you never shit? I don't give a shit. I'm not, you see this person never ever going to the bathroom, you're like, I don't give a shit. But then, what are they doing? Are they like taking shit? But then if you're taking a shit, you're also giving a shit. So it's like, if you give a shit, it's just confusing. Because if you don't give a shit, but then if you take a shit, then it's all about give and take. But I'll say this. You could probably find a nice balance somewhere between of like giving it, but then also like taking it. Because if you take it, you got to give it. But I'll say this, ladies and gentlemen, let's just let's just say this. Declaring bankruptcy. No one ever, we're skirting. Yeah. A little bit all over the place today. That's the fun of it all. Because who knows where it goes? Who knows where this ship sails? Who knew we were even in a ship? You never hear anybody actually declaring bankruptcy. Nobody's ever gone around and declared bankruptcy. You might whisper bankruptcy to somebody. You know, you might walk to somebody and, you know, low-key let them know you're not declaring. Nobody walks out, I do declare bankruptcy. I declare bankruptcy, everybody. I declare. Nobody ever declares bankruptcy. You let somebody know very quietly. Maybe you make a phone call, let somebody know very quietly over the phone, declaring bankruptcy. What's that again? Can't hear you, sir. Can you say that again? Bankruptcy. You might write it down on a piece of paper and slide it across the table and have somebody like peek through and be like, oh, okay, this person is the declare. But nobody ever goes out there declaring bankruptcy. It's, you know, you notify people, you let somebody know, but you're not. It's not a declaration. It doesn't feel like a declaration. You're not like informing people of, you are, but like you're not like making a, again, it's done very like, I'm just saying, it's one of those things that's not declared, but we say you declare bankruptcy. Somebody happily running around, I declare bankruptcy, everyone. You know, it's, no one's ever done that. Or are we doing it wrong? Or are people doing it wrong? Maybe that's the whole problem. You should probably declare it bankruptcy. Like, you should do it loud. You should do it, you should not, if you are ever doing it, you should do it. You should actually declare it. You should get a megaphone, get on a rooftop and like declare it. Like people declare it, like people declare it. A lot of people choose to maybe get married or propose at least on the Jumbotron at a large concert or a sporting event. But nobody ever declares bankruptcy on a Jumbotron. I say bring that in. That needs to be celebrated on the job. I'm tired of people celebrating their proposals on Jumbotrons. I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I don't need to see it. Nobody needs it. It's a sporting event. It's a concert. Nobody's really happy for you. You're making it all about you. It's about the team and the sportsmen and the sportswomen who are playing the game. It's about that. Now you're oh, we got to get on the Jumbotron and if I'll say this: if you are proposing at a sporting event or a concert, you hopefully for the sake of, because if it's, I want to see more. Yeses are good. Like, it feels good to see a yes, of course, but for production value, I would like people just maybe say yes after, but for production values, say no. Say no. Break his heart. Break her heart on TV. That's way better. That's what everybody, yes, it's good to see that. Yeah, oh, that's we're so happy. Yes. But like, honestly, if you like just say no on a Jumbotron, make it really no. Lose yourself. Just get in there and just, I can't, where's this coming out of? We're not ready for this. Somebody have that conversation on the Jumbotron. What were we even talking about? Right, declaring bankruptcy. If you're going to declare bankruptcy, do it on the Jumbotron. That's how you declare it. That's like the biggest place you could declare it. That, and maybe you've got like, yeah, I can't think of anything bigger than that. So yeah, if you're going to declare bankruptcy, do it on the Jumbotron. Do it at a sport. That's way, but that should probably get way more. That should probably get way more emotional for people. Like, yeah, he's declaring bankruptcy. Maybe you motivate others to do it. I need to do, and it'll just become a thing. Or whatever, or we can just keep the proposals on the Jumbotron and no declaring bankruptcy on the Jumbotron, which whatever you like. Whatever you like, we can do it. I personally don't have I'd like to see a little bit of variety. We've seen the proposals. They have been a little bit disruptive, but at the same rate, if we're going to keep the proposals, but also introduce, some sort of, like, somebody come on there and be like, I got a new STD, this thing's not even been found, he's on the Jumbotron. Show a patch of just like, just pus, yeah, lift up your shirt and be like, I don't know what this is. And everybody's zooming and cheering, it's like, yeah, he's got a new STD, yeah. crowd goes wild. Come on. You know what I'm talking about? Let's shake up the Jumbotron game. Proposals, fine, keep it. But I want to see somebody come in there and be like, oh, I've been consuming a new drink, I've got a new tail, just wagging around on the Jumbotron, you know? Or just like come in there and just like show us your web toes, just put it up on the Jumbotron, be like, I got web toes, Jumbotron. You know? Maybe you got like a rare case where there's like, maybe you were like twins in your mother's belly, but your other twin is just attached to the side of your rib. Maybe it's just another head attached to your rib. Get on the Jumbotron, and you're my twin. Lift up your shirt and your twin is just like screaming from your ribs. And it's freaking everybody out, but it's also like, it's wholesome. It's relatable. It's tangible, it's right there. Maybe you just like feed it a couple of nachos and put your shirt back on and you know what I'm talking about? Every day, you know, everyday people doing things. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for joining me. It's been Friday. We've been all over the place, and sometimes we're all over the place, and that's the way she goes. Just having a good time with you guys and gals out there. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for letting me be a part of yours. Have a fantastic weekend out there, whatever you're doing. Once again, where can you find these videos? Every Wednesday and Friday, dropped on Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Help your boy, help yourself. Get those reminders. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show. I'll be back here again next week, kicking it with y'all. Peace out.